Hi, I'm Floriana Jovino, a classical pianist. The Blue Bridge project is my experiment and wants to answer this question. When not given any context, what does music awaken in the average listener? For the live event, what I envision is my performance and the audience, rather than sitting in rows, they would be scattered all around me on carpets or pillows, rugs, armchairs, chairs, of course, they'll find. What is important is that they are all provided with some pen and paper to create anything with, to facilitate the process of responding visually to the music that they're listening to. The guest artist, which will be creating next to me as I play, will have the task of leading the audience into this creative process. What I believe also is very interesting is that at the end, the audience, by joining into this process, will be performing as well. So this will blur the line between audience and performance.
Why this project really excites me is because I have had moments, and I probably haven't shared that with anybody. I've had moments predominantly listening to classical music where it's sort of, the music sort of envelops me, and I see the colours very clearly of sort of what I'm hearing. I kind of instantly sort of see certain movements. It could be actual steps, or it could just be more a general sort of feeling of movement. Yeah, so classical music for me is very powerful in that way.
So I would be curious now. Of course, I think it's going to be mostly improvised on the moment for you. But do you have any ideas on what it might be like for you?
Yes, I think a number of ways to sort of approach it. I think there's sort of one option of being very spontaneous and in the moment, and very much letting the music take over me in a very, with the movement of my hand as I'm feeling the music.
So what inspires you?
That's a good question. It can be so many things. I always do have music. Sometimes it's sort of more meditative music. Sometimes I do start with a figure. It could be as simple as nature and a flower. That is the basis. But yeah, many sources of inspiration.
I bet that the majority of the people who listen will have different ways of viewing, of perceiving different moments. I'm quite curious, what would you think?
That's the beautiful thing. It's like how people see art. I think it's always so fascinating how people interpret things in different ways, and that's kind of the beauty of it, because a composer or an artist can put all of their emotions and put them onto a canvas, but it doesn't mean that someone's going to feel the same way when they look at it or hear it. And that's kind of the beauty of it, because it can capture, I guess, a number of moods, even though the intent might be one thing.
Yeah. So the program will be mainly in two parts. The first part, I'm going to start with the Beethoven Sonata 109. It has a rich repertoire of pictures, and they closely relate to Beethoven's experience of his own life. And then the second part of the concert will be Schumann, Humoresque, which is a piece that I love profoundly. This is, again, deeply emotional. The author said that he was sitting down at the piano and laughing and crying hysterically as he was composing. So you can imagine already the sort of emotion, raw emotions that led him to compose this music. And then, if I have time, I would like to introduce some Mettner, and it's a very, very short piece, so just a little cherry on top. It's called Fairy Tale, and it doesn't specify anything else, so just aside from the title, we don't know anything of the background. So yes, that would be it. It's very new for me because it's not my usual performance. I'm not used to playing whilst everyone else around me is working and maybe moving around. So yeah, I think it's very new. I'm really, really excited, and I hope we can make it true. We can make it happen. Jasmine, by the way, you are in New Zealand right now. I find it so exciting that we're literally at the opposite side of the world, but we're working on this together. So music and art brought us together. How amazing is that?
I know, anything's possible. It's incredible.
Yeah, I was thinking that it's the name of the project is the Blue Bridge, and this is quite a long bridge that we're building right now. But you will be back by the 18th of July, right? Perfect.
Back in London.